if we just start out with typo3, I suggest we go to, say, bootstrap.com. It's very, very... All right. So we're now visiting the Bootstrap website, and we'll just include the stuff from their CDN because it's, I guess, the fastest way to do so, right?
Yeah.
So this is the CSS that we need, and we just need the URL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it looks a bit weird, so that's that. And then we open up our code editor, I guess. Where do we go?
We go to the tapestry.com folder, and in the extension folder, and then we will find our YouTube demo.
All right, so we go to typo3conf/ext/YouTube demo
/ whatever you called your extension.
All right.
And then we find there the predefined folder structure, and there's a folder-like configuration, like it says, and there we find the TypeScript.
All right, so obviously, so here we can see we got page TS and TypeScript separated from each other, which also indicates that it's two separate things.
The stuff in the page TS folder is the ones we included into the page itself, and the all of that in the TypeScript folder we included in the template.
Okay, so we just open this one up, however that works. All right, so this is a lot of code right here. I guess we'll just flip to the fastest stuff.
What's the fastest stuff?
So the fluid template things we don't care about right now.
Right now,
we're going to show this in more detail later. The meta part, we don't care about meta stuff as well. But there's CSS libs that we can include.
Yeah.
All right. So we just add Bootstrap 4, or maybe we should write it properly. Bootstrap 4 equals the URL we just copy-pasted.
Yeah.
This is an external URL, right?
Yeah,
so
that means we have to mark it as external.
All right.
Just .external = 1.
Okay, perfect. So if we save this and then reload the front end.
Clear the cache.
All right, so we go to the back end of typo3.
Clear the front end cache.
Front end caches are enough in that case?
It's enough.
Okay, perfect. So if we reload it, wow, this looks more bootstrappy than before.
Yeah, still not what I would call a pretty designed website.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So what should we do next?
We're still missing the includes for the JavaScript.
All right.
I would include that also.
Okay, I'm now just for sense of being more simple with that, copy them all over. So these are, we do have include JS libs, include JS, include JS footer libs. What do we do?
And we have include JS footer. You missed one.
Fair enough.
Like you can see, we have a lot of options. Also for CSS. CSS, we're always loading on top. There's no option for loading it into the footer. But for all other libraries, for JavaScript, we can decide if we want to load it in the head section of the page or at the lowest bottom of your body.
Okay.
In that case,
it's libraries.
It's libraries. We would add it to include JS footer libs.
So we just do this again. We need a key for those, right?
Yeah.
So we have type of jQuery 3 equals the URL of that, and we simply remove all that stuff back here, I guess.
Yeah. We have options to also check the integrity of external files, but we will not go into that right now because we seen in our test that the proposed integrities are not always correct.
And these are also marked as external.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing is Popper. We just go right here and just, this should be faster. Dot external equals 1. And then we can just drop all this. And then it's Bootstrap, obviously.
Yeah.
Bootstrap 4. And then we go to the end of this and say Bootstrap 4 dot external equals 1.
Yeah.
That should be that?
Yeah. Clear the caches.
All right.
It's always about the caches, like Benny told you last time. So if we now go and check the source code of the page,
All right. Here we go.
we will now see that we included in the top section 2 CSS files. One is the external one that we included as a lib, and the lower one comes with the pre-generated setup.
All right.
The
So
extension.
the 2 files are the libs
Exactly.
are included before
Yeah.
the regular CSS. Makes sense because it's libraries. You want to have
Yeah.
them prior to loading your own CSS. All right.
Same goes for the footer libs and the footer.js. We can also check that in the code.
But we need to scroll down, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot of code down here.
I think that's the admin panel.
We're going to cover that later?
Yeah.
Cool.
But as you can see, the CDN files from jQuery, Popper, and Bootstrap are loaded here, and after that, our own JavaScript resources getting loaded.
Okay, perfect. So this doesn't really look that beautiful, so we should kind of change some code around.
Yeah. You can now see the first hint in the yellow lightning box.
Nice yellow box, yeah.
Yeah. Where we can find the template that's currently loaded here.
All right, so we're just going to open that one up, I guess. It was default.html. Oh, there's a lot of defaults.
Yeah.
That makes little sense. Where would we find this?
Just go to the parts that's shown in the front end. That would be in your extension, resources, private.
Resources, private.
Then it's templates.
Whoa. Templates.
And then we find their templates for content elements, or in that case, for the page.
Okay. So if we go to the page one, oh yeah, here we see a background style in yellow.
Yeah.
That's obviously the stuff we want to remove first.
That's the stuff we want to remove because we now have located the file, so we don't need it anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The other thing you will find here is the as a TypeScript library where we're selecting a distinct column from the backend. In that case, it's what you can see if we switch to the backend. It's labeled as normal.
Okay.
That
Which
has
is the standard one.
That's the standard one. It has the value 0 in the database, and we're just selecting that one and putting out all content that we're adding there in that place.
To that position. All right, that makes sense. I don't see any menus thing here.
Yeah.
Where does this happen?
Exactly. Also, we have to the distinct page templates. We can have multiple page templates, like that one. That's our default. And we can also have layouts. That means we can wrap our templates with some additional code, like a header, a footer, or whatever you would like to add there.
So we could have one HTML file for a single column layout and another one for the standard main plus margin,
sidebar, whatever.
Sidebar stuff. But they would share the same layout, so the top bar would be identical. Where do I find layouts?
I would suggest next to the folder templates in the folder layouts. And then it's page again, and then you find also default. That's because you find a lot of defaults.
Okay, so we open this one up.
Yeah.
This looks navigationally.
Yes. You find two things in that HTML file. The one is the main navigation that's rendered, that's already pre-configured. So you have it already in your Fluid templates available as variable. As you can see, we have main navigation, it's called currently. That's the part on the top. And after that, we are rendering the section main.
All right.
The section main is defined in the other default template and from the.
So if you open this one up,
yeah.
So this is the section that is then being rendered.
Yeah. That would mean that I could provide in my layout a lot of sections that I can wrap around in the normal templates and just pre-fill different areas.
Okay.
So in that case, we're just spitting it out.
The main layout would be the place for our grid to go, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah.
You're the Bootstrap kind of guy.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I don't have any clue how to use Bootstrap 4. That's why we're using it, to show that we are also clueless like you, and just we are looking up documentation. and see how it goes.
All right. So we go to the layout part.
Yeah.
So obviously we need a div class container.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I guess it was in the older versions. We can wrap it around each part. That means one for the navigation and one for the main section.
All right.
Also, I would put the container for the main section into the template file of the page template itself.
Okay. So
Because it could be that I just want to change the grids or
all right.
whatever.
So we leave this.
We'll leave this empty, yes, here.
Okay.
That
So now we
case.
need to go to our front end again, I guess.
Yeah.
And reload it. Aha.
Okay, now we see the yellow message is gone and the navigation is somehow a bit of intended. I would do also the same for the content now. That would be in resources, private page, templates page, default HTML.
Yep. This is the
And
one we
just
got.
wrap stuff around the FC object.
So here we get a div class container.
Yeah.
And we move this one around. Oh, that looks like one tab too much.
Yep.
All right, so we save it. We go back to the front end, reload it. So now these two are aligned.
Hopefully, if we've done everything right, yes.
Fair enough, fair enough. So the next step is obviously going to be the top bar, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look. I guess it's a component, navbar. Navbar sounds great. So we'll just use this one. And we go to,
Copy the whole code.
all right. And then we go back to our layout default, right?
I would just put it above the container and then just adapt to.
Above the container.
Yeah.
All right.
We just copy the code. I hope it should work. We can now have a look in the front end.
All right.
What the output is.
We'll just reload it. Wow. Okay, so that obviously
It
works.
looks kind of okay. So, but it's now not showing our about us, products, contact, whatever we want to add there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So obviously we need a nav class. Then we have it's not navbar. It's YouTube demo because that's the name of our website. And this seems to be where the navigation actually starts.
Yeah.
So we just copy paste over this stuff.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would just copy the F4
You want to do it line by line.
line by line, exactly.
All right.
But we could have a quick look at what's actually available as variables or stuff like that.
All right.
While we're currently doing this,
Let's go.
would just be an fdebug somewhere. It doesn't matter.
Somewhere down here.
Yeah.
No, it's F. Debug.
Curly braces _all.
Smart code _all, like
Yeah.
that. So we save that, go back to the front end. Whoa.
Yeah. We currently see there's an X-based variable dump that makes it easy to check, okay, what variables are currently assigned to the templates and what we can use. As we see the first one is data that's always there. That includes the record of the current page we're on.
All right, so we can see the title is homepage.
Yeah.
Right.
If we now switch to a different page, for example, like...
Because our navigation
Matthias.
already works.
Yeah. Of course.
So now the title is Matthias because we went to the other page right here.
And we see we always have the main navigation available. That's just an array with 3 keys currently in it. If we can open it and see, okay, that's the data, that's the full record available. We have the title.
So this is again the page. So
This
we
is
have
again
access
the
to
page.
everything.
Yeah. But the data from the page of that menu entry. Yeah.
All right.
So we also have the title, the completely generated link. So we just need to place it in. The target, an indicator if the page is active. It's the current page we are on. The difference between active and current is current means that's the page I'm really now looking at. Active means It's in the root line.
Okay, so upwards the page tree. So
Yeah.
if we want to highlight all pages in the navigation. All right,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That's the difference, and it's a spacer or not. It's a special behavior. We don't dig into that now. And if it has children.
All right, so if we open this one up, which is products, which does not have children, this is not there,
there
right?
is no children.
All right, perfect. So do we need the debug right now?
No.
All right.
We have the working code already there. We just need to adapt it.
All right, so we remove the fdebug again. And now we need to basically check how Bootstrap thinks stuff works. This, to me, seems where the navigation starts.
Yes. That's the
UL class, navbar.
And then the repeated part is the LE.
That one.
Yeah. So we can...
And then there's also the drop-down stuff that we might need for later.
I would suggest we delete all except the drop-down ones. Or if it has... No, just keep 2 of them.
Because we need the active state, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is the disabled items. We don't have
go
disabled
away.
items.
We
Do we
don't
need
need a form.
do we need the form? No.
Not for now. So what we now could do is we can take the for each we seen below. That's for each main navigation item, and just place it around the all items in there.
All right.
So
we might need to close that tag, right?
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
So now we can move up everything we've seen in the iteration here, just one level up. That one.
What do you mean?
That stuff, one up.
I don't know what you mean.
All the stuff it's in the list elements. All list elements put just in there.
All right, but do we want to repeat those multiple times?
For now, yes. Because after that we will adapt the code and only print out the stuff we actually need.
Mm-hmm.
That means we have to differentiate between, okay, if we have children's or sub-items, case like that. If we now look into the front end and at the current rendering, we will see we have the stuff 3 times that matches exactly the main navigation items we currently have there.
Because this part is being repeated, the home and the drop-down part is being repeated for About Us, for products, and for contacts.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly. So we can now go back to the editor. And the first thing I would do is I would differentiate between, okay, do we have a drop-down or not?
All right.
That means I would check for children. That means I could do an if condition main navigation item. We need to do in curly braces.
Because it's a variable, right?
Yes, exactly. Dot children.
So if we have children,
then we do need the then clause. Yeah.
And I guess if we have a then we have like an
else. Yeah.
All right.
So we can now split the list items we have below.
So the drop-down stuff.
The drop-down stuff into the then section, and the other into the else section.
So we keep this, and this is just a pretty single whoop like that. Maybe we just need to adjust the indentation. Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If we now have a look at the front end, we can see that we have 1 drop-down and 2 homes. That's actually matching the structure we've seen below.
Yep.
So we now can insert the variables that are coming from the variables. It would be main navigation item in that case. Dot title.
And the href
is
obviously has to be.
It's by default Bootstrap doesn't render links on the dropdowns.
Fair enough.
So we could do that with JavaScript and do some hacky stuff around it, but I wouldn't do it now.
All right.
And we would do the same thing for
down here, right?
The single one, yes.
All right, so we just go and do the curly brace. That would be the main
Navigation item.
dot
That's
link.
link. Yeah.
And here we have the, that editor hates me. Here we go. No, it was just like closing brace.
Yes.
All right.
If we now have a look in the front end. Okay,
Aha.
we see now about us, products, and contact. So if we click on the products, for example, we should see that the link
The title
above changes, and we are on the page products or contact. Well, that ones are not assigned yet, so their about us basically does nothing for now.
All right, so if we go back to page 1, force reload it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we need to take care about the sub navigation, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, perfect. Let's go.
So we can now also scroll back down again for the example we have. You can now see that we have a different for each for the children.
We can just, now we just copy paste the for each here, right?
Yeah. For each, and then just adapt it.
That should be this one.
Yeah.
But these ones are actually pretty simple.
Just pick one, copy it above, and then it's done.
And we can remove these, right?
We can remove these now. Yeah.
So again, we're going to take the...
Well, we now assigned all variables that are in main navigation.children to child. So it's now child.title.
All right, because it's children as child.
Yeah.
And this one translates over here. All right. And then we have child.link, I guess.
Yeah.
Shall we reload it? See what happens?
Maybe.
Aha. So that stuff works.
Not that hard, I guess.
Not really. But all these menu items on top, the products and contact, are still marked as active.
Yeah. We can now, we need to do another condition. We have one prepared down below that just says, and I will just copy the inline curly braces. So for the condition that just says, okay, if main navigation is active, then we add a class active. So
And
now
this
we have
would be down here, right?
Yeah. So that's it.
Does the main menu have that as well?
I don't know if the drop-down actually has it, but we can just add it.
I just think that it should be in here as well. So it goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we add that, and then reload it. So now they're all gray. If we go to products and reload as well, because it's Chrome caches aggressively. All right, perfect. So the contact page, if we force reload that one as well, we go to a sub page, force reload that one as well. All right, so now...
So we now can remove the old menu.
Absolutely. Let's get rid of that one. So that's that part, right?
Yeah.
The container can go as well.
We don't need it anymore here.
This is just the old stuff. And then I guess that we can also change the indentation back one level. All right, that's the main menu done. Neat.
That's it.
So if we go back to the home page,
We could just set the stop link correctly.